joining Vocation Plus News. We are Services Reimagined. This week's news update is going to focus on Zoom etiquette. Today is Friday, February 26th. It is almost March. That's crazy. The following video you'll be watching is in regards to Zoom and how we need to be acting on Zoom when we participate in classes and when we participate in Hangouts. A lot of you guys are on Zoom now, and we have found that there have been multiple interruptions or distractions that occur. So we're going to have some new rules to go over from now on. In the following video, we'll go over the do's and don'ts of Zoom. And your case managers will be showing you what you need to do with the do's. And then they're also going to show you, give examples of the don'ts. So as I'm reading the don'ts, they'll be showing you what I mean, okay? So if you guys have questions or comments, give us a call. We're always here for you, and we hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Thank you. This is our Zoom class, so we're going to go over do's and don'ts before we start our class, okay? You're all okay with that? Please all nod your heads. Thank you. Okay. Zoom etiquette is super important because you guys have to be respectful to everyone else who's in the class. Brian?
Sorry, I had to grab something.
We want to make sure everyone has the opportunity to have fun in your classes, guys. You guys have fun Zoom classes, fun Zoom Hangouts, and these are going to be important rules for you guys to follow going forward for all of the classes that you join on Zoom, okay? Do's: mute until you are required to talk. So keep yourselves muted. If we mute you, it's for a reason. Brian, I'm going to go ahead and mute you, okay? So everyone's muted. If you guys have to communicate, you guys can raise your hands. You can send a chat to your case manager or your class lead and let them know if you have a question. Find a clean, quiet space and dress appropriately, okay? So environment where it's clear that you're there, we can see your face, it's quiet, there's not a lot of noise coming around you in case you do have to unmute yourself and speak, so everyone can hear what you're saying and the lead of the class or the hangout can hear you clearly. Dressing appropriately is super important because we don't want to give anybody the wrong impression or make other people feel uncomfortable. Sit up straight. Keep the tablet or device stationary during your session. Let all household members know when and where you'll be during your Zoom class or Zoom Hangout so that people aren't coming in, they're not crossing the path of the camera, we're not hearing their conversations. We're just hearing you and seeing you because you're the person taking the class. No one else in your house is taking the class. Unless there's like 3 of you that are joining the class and you all come to program. That's totally cool. Be aware of your background, lighting, and noise. So if people can't see you, if it's really dark, sometimes that's hard, especially for us people who like to visualize, who we're looking at. If it's really noisy, it's hard for people to concentrate. Use appropriate Zoom background if you wish. If you'd like to use a background, we can show you how to do a virtual background so that if you don't want people to see your room or maybe see where you are in your house, you can put up a background and then we don't even know where you are. It just looks like a plain background. Turn off and silence your cell phone and close other windows on your computer. So you guys need to pay attention. If you have other things distracting you, it's going to distract everybody who's in the class or hangout with you. Be on time to class. When you guys come in late, it takes away from other people's experiences. If you're late, it's distracting the class. And if you come in late, you want to say hi to everybody. Everyone has already said hi because they got there when the class started. So it's very important for everyone to be on time. If you are going to be late, please notify the office and we can notify the lead of the class or the Zoom Hangout. Pay attention. Maintain eye contact with the speaker. So if you are in part of a class, especially a class, and a teacher is teaching you about maybe sign language, or you're going over a fable, or anything else, You guys need to be paying attention. You decided to join that class, so you need to pay attention and so you can gain all the knowledge they're there to offer you. All right, guys, here are the don'ts. We're going to show you some examples, okay? Don't engage in texting, social media, or other distractions like playing video games, watching TV while in class. So if I'm talking to them right now and I'm trying to discuss something very important or I have important information to give, none of them are paying attention to me. They're paying attention to what's on their phone or they're playing a video game. They're more important. That's more important to them. So if that's more important to you guys, you shouldn't be in the class or the hangout. Do not lay down in bed or on your couch during your Zoom session. If you're laying down, it shows you don't want to be there. You'd rather be sleeping. Everyone is capable of sitting up and enjoying the class and paying attention. If you're laying down, it can give off the wrong impression and make people feel uncomfortable. Do not take screenshots, cell phone pictures, or record the meeting, your classmates or your instructor without express permission to do so. Do not take pictures of people. That is not okay. No one has given you the permission to take their picture, and we don't know what the picture is going to be used for. If Vocation Plus decides to record a party, you guys have all already okayed that. No one has okayed people taking pictures of you during your class or your Zoom hangout. Also, it's very distracting. Don't call staff on Zoom during meeting times. They are running the Zoom session and won't be able to answer the calls via Zoom. If you know that your lead or your hangout lead is running the Zoom meeting or class, do not call them on Zoom. They are already in a session and it'll tell you they're already in a session, okay? That's not okay. It's going to be distracting for everyone else in the class. If you need to reach them and you have something important to tell them, call the office. We'll give them a message, okay? Don't walk around during the class meeting. You guys see how distracting that is? Everyone just walking around doing their stuff. We know that everyone's living life right now, and with Zoom, you can take us with you while you go, but that's not okay. That doesn't show that you're paying attention. We don't know that you're gaining any knowledge from this hangout or this class. And also, other people are going to be so focused on your background and where you're going that they're not going to be paying attention either, and that's taking away from their participation. Yeah, not okay. Don't use the chat for side conversations with classmates. So while I'm talking to you and you are having a conversation with somebody else, you're not paying attention to what I'm saying. And then the other person is not going to be able to pay attention either. They're going to be focused on what your conversation is. If you're in a Zoom class, especially a class, that is not the time to sit there and have conversations. Do you see they're not even paying attention to what I'm saying? They're not even listening to this don't right now. And if you chat it to everyone, it's very distracting for everyone. Everyone can see that. So no one's going to be paying attention. Okay, don't have conversations with household members off camera. It is very distracting. And we don't want to know what's happening in your house with other people.
How's it going?
You have to listen to what I'm saying, and you can't when other conversations are happening.
I can't hear, Val. I can't hear.
Yeah. Are you trying to listen to me, or are you trying to listen to other people in your house?
I had yogurt today.
Do you see how distracting that is?
Hey guys, look.
Can anybody hear what I'm saying?
Speech is really good. Hey girl, what are you doing there?
Hi, thank you.
Thank you so much.
I can't hear.
It's very distracting. It takes away from other people's participation and their experience. And maybe other people will not want to join the class anymore because it's super distracting. Don't take the device into the bathroom during your Zoom session. No one here is going to be doing that because it's super inappropriate. We don't want to know what's happening when you go to the bathroom, especially if you keep your camera on and your microphone on. So please, if you need to use the restroom, you tell your job coach or you tell the case manager that you're going to excuse yourself to go to the restroom. Don't change your clothes during your Zoom session. Nobody should be changing. We don't want to see anybody take off any piece of clothing. Not only is that distracting, it is also very inappropriate. If you need to change, if some emergency happens where you need to go change your shirt or your pants or something, just excuse yourself. Let your job coach and your case manager know. Go into a separate room and do what you need to do, and then you can come back. All of these rules are very important, and we'd like you guys to start following them going forward. If you guys fail to, listen to these guidelines and rules, there will be repercussions. We will have consequences for that, okay? And case managers will be reaching out. All of these guys here will be reaching out to you if this continues to happen, because we do hear from job coaches and it is very distracting for other people who are trying to participate in classes and Zoom Hangouts. Do you guys have anything to add to that?
Just in regard to the being outside of the home, shopping, being in the car, losing your Wi-Fi connection and coming back 100 times. Although we love to have our individuals there, if you're not going to get anything out of the class because it's kicking you off each time, let us know what you missed and we'll be happy to give you paperwork or whatever you need to be successful in the class that you're taking. And to be honest, although we love you guys in the Hangouts, you're not going to miss anything that's going to ruin your life if you're logging off, logging back on, logging off, logging back on. So if that happens, do us all a favor and just take the day off. We'll be glad to have you the next week. If you want to join the next day and you're going to be home, then let us know. We'll be glad to offer you a spot in that Hangout. You're not limited. So yeah, if you're going to be off and on because of your connection, then please just respectfully opt out and don't keep adding yourself if you've lost connection more than 3 times.
That's a great point. You guys all know when your classes are and when your Zoom Hangouts are. And the Zoom Hangouts are open. Most of you, quite a few of you do, take the opportunity to join more than once a week. And that's totally okay. But if you know when your class starts and you're not prepared for your class, or like Val said, you're at a store or you're driving somewhere, do us all a favor and just take the day off. Just let us know you're not available, because it's very distracting and we don't need to go where you're going. We're all here. We've put the time in. Everyone has done their due diligence in getting these classes prepared for you. So if you're not prepared to join the class and fully take in the experience and let others enjoy the class as well, then please don't join the class. Take the day off.
It's just in regards to conversation. So I'm going to talk really low right now, just to let you guys know that we could still hear you even if you're whispering. So when I ask you to mute and you're having a little side conversation with someone, we could still literally hear everything that you're saying. So if Renee and Kashi are showing a video and they ask you guys to mute because they want you to hear, and even though you can hear everything else going on in the video, but I'm talking like this, saying, hey, we should blah, blah, blah. Can you guys still hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably everything that I'm saying too, right? Like there's not going to be any secret. So even though you're whispering, the Zoom microphone is very strong. So we're still going to hear. So if we ask you to mute, you're not one of the special people that gets to unmute. Everybody has to mute. It's a rule.
And if they mute you, you do not unmute yourself unless they give you permission to do so. I think that they're giving you the option when they ask you to mute yourselves. That's you guys being able to do it for yourselves so that they don't have to do it for you. They're not your parent. They're not your care provider. You guys are adults. You chose to join these classes in Zoom Hangouts. So they're giving you the autonomy to mute yourselves. But if we have to do it for you, that means that we know that you're not going to do it for yourself. So you guys need to really follow the guidelines that we're giving you. And if you are muted, you stay muted until they say you can unmute yourself. So you guys, failure to follow all of the don'ts that we just showed you, if you are unmuting yourself when we're asking you to mute, if you're having conversations that are really loud and you're unmuted, if you guys are just deciding to be super distracting and the job coach or the case manager removes you from the class, you guys need to stay removed from the class. Do not ask to come back into the class. There is a reason for them removing you, and you guys need to listen to that. If you have questions or concerns, call the office. We would be more than happy to talk to you. Obviously, if your case manager is in the Zoom Hangout, they won't be able to talk to you, but you can talk to any one of us and we can walk you through what happened and explain why you were removed from the class. Also, with your classes, I am notified every time something like that happens. The job coach and the facilitator let me know. So then I have case managers follow up with you and explain to you the do's and don'ts. We have done that multiple times with some of you, and now it's getting to the point where we have to give you an actual etiquette form. Every one of you is going to be required to look this over, follow directions, and sign it. And now this video will be shown before every class in order for all of our Zoom classes and Hangouts to run smoothly and for everyone to have the full participation and enjoy the experience, because that's your choice. And you guys don't get to take that choice away from other people.
Thank you everyone for watching our Zoom etiquette video. If you have any questions, call the office. Have a great day.